Hi, Gabby Turner here. Welcome to this pick a card reading in which we're going to be asking what attracts them to you, or what is it about you that they find attractive? What is appealing about you to the person on your mind? So this is geared towards a romantic interest of yours or a romantic connection of some kind. And we've got three options here from left to right. Option number 1 is Lady Venus. Option number 2 is Djwal Khul. And option number 3 is Lady Portia. I'm going to hold these up a little closer for you. Again, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And the timestamps are listed below with each of their names, so that once you have decided on your reading or readings, you can just click that timestamp and I'll meet you there. Hello, option number 1, you chose Lady Venus, and let's see what it is about you that your person of interest finds attractive. Why are they attracted to you? And I have this little homemade deck that I've pulled a couple cards from, so we're going to start with that, and it gives sort of like personal qualities. So the two that I randomly selected to represent you in this person's eyes, right? So this doesn't necessarily mean this is the realest, truest you, but it's the version of you in their perception. It's how they're perceiving you. We have these two cards, Mongoose and Cobra, and Vulture. So I'm going to read more about it, but basically they feel you're kind of like fierce, I would say. Like you're a very fierce person. You're not someone to mess with. You're perhaps a bit intimidating, but I feel like they find you intimidating in the best way. It's like intimidating, but like with the power of love in a sense. Okay, so Vulture says, I represent someone who has a sleek but unique sense of style. I succeed in life by being true to my own path, my own vision. People often doubt me, but I do very well for myself. I am stealthy in the way I pursue success, so to the non-observant, I appear to luck into it, but in fact, I work hard at everything I get. I trust in the natural abundance of the land and show others how to trust as well. So they're seeing you kind of like as someone who's very resourceful, right? It's giving like Slytherin energy for those of you who are interested in Harry Potter, or at least know what the symbolism is, because Slytherin, resourcefulness is one of their qualities. Now, resourceful doesn't necessarily mean greed. It can mean greed, but it means like we can make the most of resources. We know how to access the resources that we truly need. So they see you in that way. Okay, but they do also see you as someone who's always looking to improve your life, like looking for the next best thing. So there is at the bottom of this little homemade deck, there are like 3 sections here. The first is a description, and then there's an advice section, depending on what type of reading you're doing. And then there's a message from your beloved. So for you guys, a message from this person to you about this quality is, you're always looking for the next best thing. I worry that you would cast me aside for someone better. So they are attracted to the fact that you're always like looking for better, like trying to better yourself and better your life circumstances, but they also feel like that could even come into play in terms of your romantic partners, like wanting to upgrade sort of. And then we have Mongoose and Cobra. I represent someone who is in touch with their Kundalini energy and who becomes spiritually awakened through a process of acknowledging and owning their shadow. I may also represent someone who feels conflicted about their primal urges, especially their sexual urges. Message from them to you. I have seen you improve yourself. So that seems like a strong theme as well. Like they see you as someone who's always improving, changing, improving. I've seen you improve yourself, and it inspires me to evolve as well. Thank you so much for acknowledging the ways in which you have made mistakes in our connection, or maybe in life. I can acknowledge the same as well. We can let go of the past and surrender to love. Yeah, so I think that they feel like part of your fierceness is that you're not afraid to like admit that you're not perfect. You know what I mean? Like, you can own that shit. You can own your shit, right? Everybody shits. You're not trying to pretend like you don't. You're not trying to pretend like your shit smells like roses. You're not a perfect person, but you're a person who is always like perfectly aligning more and more with the best version of yourself. So I feel like this is how they're seeing you. This is actually really cool. And let's pull some tarot as well. So what is group one's person? Why are they attracted to them? Let's just see. What's the most helpful, insightful thing? Wow, 10 of Swords. Like really, they feel that you are not afraid to go to those hard places. Maybe even to hit rock bottom in life, or just to really be drugged through the gravel. You know what I mean? It's kind of making, because we had the vulture before, like vultures, when they find a dead animal, they will drag the animal and eat it, and you'll just have its entrails hanging out and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's like almost like life has done this to you before, or you've allowed yourself to experience this sort of it's called there's a term for it, like in religious practices, self-flagellation, which is where you beat yourself almost, or flog yourself. It's masochistic, right? Like trying to achieve spiritual enlightenment through going through the hard path of life. Like I think his name is Siddhartha, I always forget, but like I think this is Buddhism, right? Where he's a prince, like he has all these worldly things, but he forgoes the worldly things and goes through a greater deal of hardship in life in order to achieve enlightenment. I do feel like they feel like maybe you've made a lot of sacrifices in your life in order to improve yourself, in order to refine yourself. Another way of looking at it is like when you find a rough gemstone, like a diamond in the rough, right? Like how do you shape that diamond so that it can be seen and brilliant, right? To go from the rough diamond to the shiny, diamond, it has to be tumbled, and like gritty stuff has to rub against it. I don't know exactly how it works, but like, you know what I mean? It has to be refined through a process that is abrasive. Life is abrasive to you, and I don't know if it's just happenstance and you make the most of it, or if you like willingly just go down the more difficult path in life, or maybe it's some of both. But with this 10 of Swords, like they find this attractive about you. You're like the Energizer Bunny too. We have this King of Pentacles. Like you just keep on keeping on. Like there's some sort of like very grounded sense of perseverance. Maybe you have a lot of earth in your chart, which would be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. But like, again, like understanding that life is made of mud. Life is made of, even the very substances that provide for us are sometimes terrifying. Like water can kill you, and also water is a life-sustaining force. But like they see that you're a very practical, realistic person. You're not afraid of the harder truths in life. You're willing to face those hard truths. And I think that they feel almost like you open doors with this Wheel of Fortune. You open certain doors of fortune that perhaps other people do not. It's making me think of Dante's Inferno, where I guess the main character's name is Dante, right? But anyway, the character, he goes through all these circles of hell, right? And literally doors of enlightenment are open to him because he is, you know, going through that journey. I think this person sees you as someone whose life journey has led down certain paths that other people would not tread, but because you've been willing to go down such paths, you do have greater awareness. You know, in life, people look to open certain doors, in particular. You know, they want life to be comfortable. They want to have lots of money. You know, they want this and that, like worldly things. I would say money is the biggest one that, you know, people go after in life. But it's like you've gone down like for unconventional things. Maybe because we had that Kundalini before, you might be someone who specifically has put a lot of effort into spiritually advancing yourself, and or like seeking maybe even esoteric knowledge, you know, like opening doors to certain knowledge bases, because even the Ten of Swords can indicate that as well. You know, like enlightenment can be quite painful. When we're willing to know like the real greater truths of life and existence, you know, we can fry our brains, you know, in the process of trying to find out what reality really is, or what the truth really is. It can be scary, right? But they feel that you're someone who's willing to keep your mind like truly open to exploring truth and making the most of life even when life gets hard. They do also feel, and I got this at the beginning too, this sense that they do see you as someone who, like, love is a motivating force for you. You love people in a very profound way. Like, this person can see this about you, like how deep and full your heart is. Like the love that you give, whatever the manner is, that it's like you just exude this love, and you see this King of Cups, like he's drinking this cup, he's feeling truly nourished, like it's satisfying. Like your love energy is so satisfying, it's satiating. Yeah, we have the Sun as well, which is like, well, it's solar plexus energy, but it's also related to the sign of Leo, which is connected to the heart chakra as well, or at least in my understanding. I don't know. But it's like people feel really seen by you. Like that's the kind of love. Like you understand who a person is. Like you see past any sort of facade or whatever. It's like you see to the heart of the actual person, and that in and of itself like is such a profound, like, wow, I feel seen, and that it feels so good to feel seen. It's encouraging. I feel like this person feels encouraged. We have more Leo energy here with the Strength card. Coming up, we have the Eight of Wands, Judgment, and the Strength card. This person really feels encouraged by you. Maybe by things specifically that you've said or communicated to them, or just that you have communicated out in the open, you know, like could be like posts you've made on your Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or Twitter, I don't know. But they feel encouraged by you, by things that you have said and expressed, that encouraged to live their own life to the fullest. And I feel like this is someone who like basically does that anyway, but it's like, you know, even if you're flourishing and like already, you know, focused on living your life to the fullest, it's still nice to have food for that, like to have nourished, you know, to be fertilized, so to speak, right? If you have some beautiful roses growing in your garden, you still want to fertilize them and feed them, right? Because you're going to continue to bloom successfully that way. Okay, with the Five of Wands, I feel like there's a little bit of a mutual trickster energy between you and this person, or maybe they see that you're a sort of trickster energy yourself. They're seeing you as the devil. Shared energy is the Five of Wands. You see this person's about to instigate something. They've lit the match. Got this evil grin, mischievous grin on their face, and they're coming through as the Queen of Swords. I think they feel that maybe the two of you don't always agree on everything, or like you ruffle feathers. You have an effect on people. This Devil card, it has strings attached to these little marionettes. There's a little bit of, yes, you love people and you see the truth of who people are, but you like having an influence on people. But I think that this person sees that as sort of like delightfully mischievous, like that maybe you can say and do like subtle things to like pull people's strings and have some sort of influence. They feel like you get a lot of satisfaction out of knowing that you have an effect on people. And I feel like they feel similarly, right? They're like, we're kind of similar in that way. It's almost like it helps them to love that quality in their own self more. I think their own craving to have a strong influence or impact on other people in a way that might be called manipulative, but really it's just like influence. I want to influence people. I want to know that I have a strong impact. I'm not just a passive side character, but like I'm an impactful character. I'm that person that someone meets in their life and they'll never forget me, and they'll never forget that encounter. Like they crave to have those type of experiences and to be that type of person, but there's a part of them that has trouble accepting that they want that they crave that. And I think seeing that you are similar to them in that way makes them to feel encouraged, and they can see, because they love it in you, it helps them to love it more in themselves. Yeah, like it's okay to want the things that we want. It's okay to want the things that we want. Nine of Cups. All right, anything else super pertinent that group one needs to know? I do feel like this person's in love with you. So we have the Two of Cups and the Lover's card. Classic in love cards. I feel like this person, if they're with you already, then they love being with you. If they're not, they feel like if I ever got to be together in a relationship with group one, I would never want to be single again. Because I think now that they, you know, like if they're not in a relationship with you right now, they do kind of like enjoy times of being able to be single, right? They enjoy those periods of their life, but they feel like if they got to be with you, they would never need or want to be single again, right? Because we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. The Nine of Pentacles upright is about like being able to appreciate and enjoy being independent, right, of other people, not needing to be in a relationship. But these are both coupling cards, and the Nine of Pentacles is reversed. So anyway, that's how I'm taking that. Like they feel like if they were with you in a relationship, or if they are, they never need or want to be single again. They're like, okay, I already learned everything I needed to learn from being single. I don't need that anymore because now I'm with group one. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Anything else? I think that's it. But I would just say, like, to end it, this person does admire you. And I'm going to, like, end this with, I haven't done this in a while. I used to always do this on my original channel, but like I'm going to read from the Oracle book from the card that you chose, just in case there's just a general message to you, group 1. But the part about your love interest is over, so if that's all you're here for, then we're done with that part. But if you want to hear the rest of this, it says, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Lady Venus is the twin flame of Sanat Kumara and is said to reside on the astral realm surrounding the planet Venus. The light beings of Venus, known as Venusians, are now coming to light workers on Earth to help them with their connections, understanding, and capacity to share divine love. Lady Venus is a wonderful keeper of the light to call on when you are trying to forge a connection with the heavens or finding it difficult to understand the signs, symbols, and guidance that are being sent to you physically or through meditation. So if you've been getting signs or symbols and you're having trouble connecting, I feel like that those insights, that clarity is coming here. Or if you've recently received a strong clarity, it's like an affirmation. You are correct. Your understanding of those signs is correct. She also allows us to connect with or focus on particular energies so we can understand them more. If you are studying a spiritual subject at this time, call on Lady Venus to help you. Hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and having the sense that beings are visiting you in your sleep are all signs that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Whenever this is happening, spend some time in contemplation so that you can ask the universe what you really need to know. This card also represents downloads of information being received by your mind. Know that the universe sees you as capable of holding soul-centered information that will help you and others reach a new level of understanding. Well, that is very cool and profound. I like that message. So thank you for sticking around for that. For those of you who did, let me know if you liked that, having that little message at the end. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, welcome to your reading. You chose Djwal Khul, and let's see what it is about you that this person is attracted to. So I pulled 2 cards initially from this little homemade deck that I made. I haven't used this in a long time. Shout out in the comments if you've seen me on my original channel ever use this deck before. But anyways, I'm going to look more into or read more from the back of the cards. But with the chipmunk and the zebra, I would say that you're like a fun, interesting, enlivening. You're like a fun time. You're a fun time, group 2. So that's one of the things that they like about you. The zebra says, I represent someone who feels truly confident being and expressing my own unique self. We're all different, so why try to hide this difference? I celebrate my individuality and that of others. So you're like an individual doing your own thing. And then there's a message from your beloved. You are so zany and odd sometimes, and this aspect of you enthralls me. I am captivated by your ability to be yourself unapologetically. Thank you also for fully accepting me as I am and helping me to enjoy life more fully. So they think you're a fun time, and you help them to accept themselves and their own sense of individuality because they see that you doing that for yourself. And the chipmunk says, I represent someone who likes to keep things at the acquaintance level until I know I can really trust someone. That said, I have a lot of acquaintances and can be very friendly. I am not the best at saving money, which you may or may not be, I don't know, but I have a lot of fun spending money on entertainment. I don't take life too seriously and know that being able to kick back and enjoy the moment is the real success. So they feel like you're fun, you're like really enjoying life, and they love that about you. But we're gonna tap into tarot as well to see what more we can figure out here. So for group 2, what is their person finding attractive about them? What makes them attracted to group 2? Oh, I mean, 2 of Cups, like, I mean, they're feeling the love, first of all. So like it's coming from their heart. And sometimes we can't always just logically explain why the heart feels what it feels. But in this case, the heart does feel what it feels. This person loves you. We also have the Seven of Swords. I feel like this person, they know that they're attracted to you because they can't get you off of their mind. They can't stop thinking about you. They're always looking forward to more. We have the words hope and reflection here in the back. So they see you as such a loving person. They know that they love you. I think they hope for more between the two of you, and they reflect a lot on what has already transpired between the two of you. I don't know. I mean, so the purpose of this reading was to describe qualities about you that they find particularly attractive, but here it's just like to me it's like what is going on in their mind and heart themselves. It's like more of their internal is what I'm picking up on. How is their internal compass telling them that they are attracted to you? It's telling them that they're attracted because they feel love for you and they feel loved by you, and also because they can't get you off of their mind. I feel like with the King of Pentacles, they also see you as being a permanent fixture of their lives. But tell us more about qualities, if we can, that Group 2 has. Okay. They feel like you're really good at, like when you communicate in a helpful, you know that, like, is it kind, is it thoughtful, is it helpful, whatever thing, you know. I don't know, I've seen this on posters and stuff, but like, before you speak, you're someone who thinks before you speak, right? We have this Knight of Swords with the sword going down its throat, and then we have Ace of Swords reversed and Tower reversed. It's like you don't speak spontaneously, you speak with intention. They really like that about you, and I just saw 2727 on the timestamp as I was saying that, which I think that combination to me is like someone who really knows how to say the exact right thing at the exact right time, and who puts a lot of thoughtfulness into the words that they speak. Yeah, you're not someone who has a lot of regrets because you have lived your life in such a thoughtful, present way, right? You've made like wise choices in your life, and so why should you regret anything? Like, you haven't done anything regretful. They admire you for that, you know, like you've made good choices in life. Yeah, you do give this person a lot of hope and inspiration. I feel like it's like they see you as such a like high quality person. This is reminding me of someone, of my cousin, whose name actually is Hope. You know, the word hope came up, but like she is that type of person who's like, this is like such a good natured person, like more than you would encounter normally, or like expect to find in a human being, or expect someone to like really truly have that good of a heart. That's how they're seeing you. You know, it gives that you give this person hope in people, hope in humanity. That there are some like truly like gems of people out there who are just like such good people. But you're also like fun, you know, like we have the Queen of Wands here, we have the Page of Cups. Like, you can chill, you can relax and like just have a good time, have a nice hearty, you know, like uplifting conversation. You know, you're not like a goody two shoes who's like boring and has nothing to talk about. Like, you're a very interesting person. I think that the person you're watching this for does try to learn from you. They don't see themselves as being very similar to you in these ways. I think they view you as someone who, yeah, you seem to be thoughtful and considerate, but at the same time, like, it also comes very naturally to you to be thoughtful and kind and considerate. And they love that about you, but they feel like if they are trying to be that way, thoughtful, loving, kind, considerate, good person, etc., it's like they feel like they have to like really dig down deep and try. It's like it's an effort, you know what I mean? Kind of like exercise comes naturally to some people, and to some of us it's like torture, but like we try to do it sometimes anyway because we know it's good for us. Like that's how they would compare themselves to you in terms of like being a quote-unquote good, kind, loving person. They're like, you know, they're having to dig deep and find it within themselves to do it, but they're like, wow, it just comes so easily to you, but I know that you do put forth effort, but like you make it seem like it's just your nature, which I think it is just your nature, group 2. But yeah, again with the thinking, this person is thinking about you a lot. I think sometimes they don't even know why they're thinking. They're like, why is group 2 coming to my mind right now? Like I can't seem to stop thinking about them. Is there something that I'm supposed to realize that about group 2 that I'm not realizing? Like, yeah. They're like, why? I mean, they know that you're a good person or whatever, but they're also just like, you just pop into their mind at random moments. And it's like, well, there must be a reason, like, why am I thinking about group 2? But every time they do think of you, they're just reminded of those beautiful, wonderful, positive qualities that you have, that you're just like, you're a heart of gold in a world that is rust. You are a heart of gold, and like such an uplifting person. You bring such upliftment to other people. But I think they feel like there's some like bigger lesson or something that they're supposed to learn from you, because they're like, I keep just thinking about group 2, like, yeah, I like group 2, but like it makes them feel like there's some lesson that they're supposed to learn, or like, am I supposed to be more like group 2? They're like, I'm trying, like I can't figure it out. Like truly they are puzzled, because they feel like it's almost like some sort of sign or message from God or something that they are always thinking about you, group 2. But I think in the end, what they usually decide is like, I'm just supposed to like try to cultivate more of the qualities that group 2 has. And I guess that's why I'm being made to think of them so much. I actually think that in some ways, this person is more like you than what they realize. And I just saw 3311, 2 master numbers on the timestamp when I said that. Like, you actually both have a lot of those same qualities of being sort of uplifting in a kind of like helping other human beings see the potential of what humanity can achieve. Like maybe you do it differently, or it's, I don't know if it's not, or I'm sorry, like maybe it's not as easy for them, or there's something about the difference, but like the impact is similar. Like you both have an impact, but they don't really see that about themselves. They see it in you, and that I think also is part of the message that they're supposed to be getting when they keep thinking of you, is their spirit guides are trying to get them to see, like, look who you are, like look how good you are and how loving you are, right? Can't you see beyond the veil? You know, like all you can see is what a wonderful person group 2 is, which is true, but like, can't you see that you're cut from the same cloth? You're cut from the same cloth, so to speak. You're from the same like soul group or something, I feel. Okay, let me see. Anything else that group 2 needs to know about why their person is attracted to them? I'm getting a no, so I think that we're at the end of the reading for that part of it. But if you want to stick around for this, I'm going to read the oracle message from the book, which might be just an extra insight that your own spirit guides are trying to get to you right now. And okay, I haven't done this in a while. I used to do it a lot, but I'm going to just read from the book. This is the Keepers of the Light deck. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. And I feel like this person is seeing you as a happy person already. But maybe that's not the whole truth. Maybe happiness is more hard-won for you than they realize. Okay, Djwal Khul, known as the Tibetan, is a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have had many incarnations, including as a devotee of Buddha himself and as one of the 3 wise men who honored the baby Jesus. Through his earthly experiences, he has learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline and knows that the path we are on unfolds over time. He is now helping light workers follow their dharma, which is a Sanskrit word meaning right way of living. So I think likewise you clearly are helping this person, but like it's just maybe you need to know that and like have that encouragement yourself that you are helping fellow light workers, fellow humans follow their dharma, which is a Sanskrit word meaning right way of living. You're someone who has followed the right way of living, and you're happy, or you exude this happiness from making good choices, being a good person, so to speak, living in the quote-unquote right way. When Djwal Khul appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should. Take one step at a time and remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world. I think, in fact, just through living your life, you're sharing your wisdom with the world. Take the time to go over what you have learned recently, recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge where you have been courageous. Djwal Khul is now working with your angel guides to help your journey unfold like a beautiful lotus flower, one petal at a time. And that number 33 that I saw earlier is coming up again on this final page of the message. So I feel like maybe master number 33 is an especially strong one for you right now. If that means anything in particular to you or you want to look it up, feel free to do so. Let me know if you liked having this oracle card message at the end of the reading. And thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Lady Portia, and so let's see what your person of interest that you're watching this for finds attractive. What attracts you? What attracts them to you? So I'm starting off with this homemade deck that I made, and I pulled 2 cards for you, the bear and the octopus, which is an interesting combination. So this is going to give us some sort of qualities, traits about you to start off with. I'm going to read the bear card first. I represent someone who had an unpredictable childhood, and because of this, I learned to become very guarded and to create overly strong barriers against allowing others in. So they feel like you had an unpredictable childhood, and that caused you to kind of put up extra barriers against allowing other people in. I can come across as having a grisly personality. I enjoy solitude, but I also aspire to create a family. If I am a mother, I will always place the needs of my children above the needs of a romantic partner. Message from your beloved. I want to hold you in my arms for days. I want to wake up with our limbs still entwined, to shower with you, to eat with you, to make love to you, to sleep in each other's arms, and wake up and do it all over again. So this person is very like enchanted, like they want to get very cozy with you, and like they want that despite knowing that you normally don't let people in. So I feel like, you know, to be able to be in that level of vicinity for you for an extended period of time, like they know that that would truly mean something, that you feel safe with them. And then we have the octopus. I represent someone who is highly independent and craves solitude. So both of these are about solitude. So, I mean, if you're not someone who enjoys a lot of solitude, then either this person has a very mistaken perception of you, or this is not your reading, because both of these speak to that. I have dark, brooding emotions, but I process them in an intellectual manner which feels safer than really feeling them. I can be a bit bold, but I likely had an upbringing in which I largely had to meet my own needs. So both of these cards, and most of the cards don't mention upbringing or childhood of the person, so there is something about your childhood and the sort of maybe traumatic experiences, or just like very extra challenging experiences you had, that also endears them to you. So anyway, I largely had to meet my own needs in my childhood, so sorry if the hard knocks of my life make me a bit defensive. So that's interesting. Like when I initially pulled these cards, because I haven't read them in a long time, I didn't remember that there are actually quite a few similarities here. The defensiveness of both of these animals, as I've channeled this message on the back, the solitude. But they like that you have that hard edge. They like that you have that barrier to you. And I just pulled a tarot card asking why. And it's the Six of Swords. Like, I think they feel, for one thing, they understand it. You know, there's like I think there's a sort of mutuality here, that this person also had some sort of similar path in life that was challenging, where a lot was expected of them. And it's like, they understand that you're going through a path of healing, which is what the Six of Swords is about. Like there's a rupture or there's a tear, but they feel like you have gotten into the groove, group 3, of knowing how to navigate your own healing process and find a sort of coziness. You've created a life that's cozy for yourself, despite the circumstances of your life, especially maybe your childhood, not being very cozy at all. But you still have that capacity to create a sort of coziness and like stretch into and reach into your healing process. They really love that. Like, it's making me think of yoga. I don't know if you actually do yoga or if they do yoga, but it's like, if you have ever done yoga and you get to the end of a yoga session, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't do yoga very often, but like, it's just like you can sort of like stretch into life. It's like life feels more okay. I think that you are a sort of solace or a comfort to this person. Anytime they see you like really like breathing into or reaching into your own healing process, they just love it. Okay, let me read the message from your beloved from this card. For me, love takes time, but when I truly am in love with someone, it is because I have examined the connection from every possible angle. When I love completely, and I will know who you are to the very depths of your soul. Don't expect me to say the words I love you, though. That kind of expression makes me feel way too vulnerable. I do feel like from both of these also, like, because the octopus has 8 arms, and this one talks about our limbs being entwined. This person wants to hug you and hold on to you and have physical affection. Like, I feel that very strongly. It's almost like doing that, or the idea even of doing it, helps to release some tension in their own core being. But yeah, like they have examined you to the very core of who you are. Like, I think you're fascinating, you're complex, you're a complex animal. You're complex, and they love that complexity. It gives their brain something to chew on, but they also want their arms to have something to hold on to as well. Wow, death. I don't know if like specifically death is something that's been prominent in your life. Maybe you've had loved ones who've passed on. Gosh, this person, I mean, what they're attracted to you is that they see a sort of depth in you that comes from having gone through some really tough experiences. And then we have the Five of Wands. It's like there were all these tough times going on, and somehow we had to just like act out our childhood anyway, you know, like kind of pretend like, oh, we're having fun, life is so fun, we're kids, and you know, but it's like I think they feel that maybe both of you, is this what it is? Both of you definitely need to connect with your inner child more and like feel that playful essence of childhood that maybe you didn't get to experience or capture so much when you were actually in it. They feel like both of you are, you know, like as adults, you are, you know, having to adult. You're having to focus on the practicalities of life, you know, like providing for those basic things like food and clothing and shelter and all of that. And it's just like they feel like something's missing, you know, like something's missing for me, something's missing for group 3 because we didn't have like a quote-unquote real childhood. I think they're saying like we should be happy just for the fact that we're no longer having to live that childhood that we had. It's a wish fulfillment almost just to have lived through it. Well, we should be grateful that we even just lived through that. They're like, I know for me, group 3, there were times when I didn't think I was going to get through it when I was in my childhood. There were times when I did not think I was going to make it. But I did, and they're wondering if maybe they feel like maybe you feel similarly. But they also sense that there's a lot, even though they have like, you know, like examined you thoroughly in their mind, right? Like really turned you over and looked at every facet of who you are. They feel like you're always a bit of an enigma, but they love that about you. They do feel like they've solved the mystery of who you are more than most people. And they love to keep solving that mystery. It brings them a lot of happiness and enjoyment to solve the mystery that is you. Like there's always a new facet to discover, and that's one of their favorite things about you as well. We have the star card here, these stars depicted having multiple facets or angles, but also like the cat that is knocking over the cup of water, which if you've ever been around cats, you know that they will do this over and over. I like to joke it's like a little science experiment, but they're like such, you know, great scientists that they want to keep doing it. Like, well, that's what happens when you knock the glass of water over when it's on this part of the counter, but what if the human puts it over on that part of the counter? Like, what'll happen if I knock it over then? You know, like they're little scientists. That's what they're doing. I don't know if that's really what it is, but this person is, they're viewing you similarly. You know, they're like, I'm seeing group 3 in a different situation, and I'm noticing how they're responding to this situation. It could be even a similar situation that I've seen them before, but they're slightly different now. And they're like, so this person is basically constantly intrigued. They're constantly intrigued because they feel like you're always changing, or like you're showing different sides of yourself all the time. You know, in a way, like they feel like this is an enjoyment or an entertainment. We have the Knight of Wands. Like, it almost like it gets them back in touch with their sense of childhood wonder, just to be like constantly discovering you. That's what they feel like. I'm an explorer, and I'm constantly discovering group 3 from every shoreline, every angle. They do feel like you have many selves. Like, there are many aspects of you that are similar but different. It's like all these food bowls, they're the same shape, they're, you know, the same size, but they're all like different colors. I don't know, they're seeing you in a similar way, that like there are lots of different sides of who you are. You are 31 flavors and then some. I'm trying to think of the woman who does that song, 31 flavors and then some, from the 90s. What is her name? My throat chakra is very scratchy today. I am 31 flavors and then some. They feel like you own it, you know, like you have a sort of cohesive sense of self, or like you come across as someone with a strong sense of self-worth. They like that about you as well. Like, you have all these different aspects of yourself, or different selves within the same primary self, but they're like, you own it. You own that. Anyway, it's very comforting to them. Like, I feel like even if they did not know you when they were younger, you give them some sort of sense of homey nostalgia, like comfort, cozy. You're like a warm blanket of nostalgia. And I feel like maybe the two of you didn't even know each other when you were kids, but like, it's like the essence you exude like makes them feel nostalgic for something, or like they feel like they've always known you, even if they haven't, which they like. You just feel so familiar to them. They love it too when like you offer them a crumb of attention or a crumb of validation. They're like, group 3 is not going to give it all away at once. They kind of respect it in a way, you know. They're like, man, I wish they would give me more than a crumb sometimes. But they're like, also like, group 3 is just not the type of person to give it all away at once. Right? I feel like they have to tame their reactions to you sometimes as well, with this cat getting its claws nipped. Because sometimes they do kind of want to maybe be kind of like mean to you or something, because they don't feel that you're giving them more than just crumbs of love. You know, this is just their perception. It may or may not be true, but that does make them feel a little bit rejected sometimes, which makes them want to act out, but they try to tone it back. You know, they're like, I don't want to be mean to group 3, but I do feel like sometimes they're breadcrumbing me. But again, like, they do respect it, because I feel, you know, it helps them to sense, and it confirms to them their own sense of boundaries also. Like, you know, we all should have boundaries. We've both been through things where maybe our boundaries weren't respected, and we had to learn how to put up strong boundaries. So anyway, I feel like there's a very forgiving nature here. They do get rejected from you sometimes, but they try to have like a forgiving nature always also. But there's always space for them in your heart. We have this 3 of Cups, and I feel, you know, I feel like your presence is always with this person. Like, let's say they're spending time with a friend or whatever, like, even if you're not there physically, like they're still sort of holding space for you, and in their mind and in their heart, you're sort of like always present to them. They do also feel like the two of you kind of play games with each other sometimes, but they kind of feel that it's like in a loving kind of playing games, or like it's playful, you know, like almost like teasing each other or something like that. Like, but when you're playing games or teasing each other, that type of energy, they feel it comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of like that you're both excited about each other and enjoy interacting with each other. But it is a little bit gameplay-y sometimes, of like, I love you, but I'm only going to give so much love, is sometimes how those games come through. But it's like both of you are having to always like get more love out of the other. They feel that you both do it. You both try to provoke love out of each other, like a game of tag. Like a game of tag. One of you tags the other, and then you start running the other direction. That one chases the other one and tags them, and then it keeps going. Yeah, that's kind of how they feel. But they don't really ever get tired of this game of tag, attention tag, validation tag, love tag. Okay, now I'm the one who needs validation and love. Let me tag you. All right, now you're running the other way, and, or, you know, whatever, you know what I mean. I think I've explained it, but. All right, is there anything else that group 3 needs to know about what this person finds attractive? They do truly find you to be physically beautiful, and this is actually the first time in all 3 readings that this specific thing has come up, because it's been more focused on personality and feelings and stuff, and like life choices and that. But like they do actually find you to be their physical ideal, and you may or may not think of yourself as a physically attractive person. That doesn't matter. Like, to this person, you are very physically attractive. I think they do feel that you would probably have trouble seeing that, or like believing it fully. Because we have this Hanged Man reverse, like they feel like you probably can't see it, that they would find you to be so physically attractive, but like they do. Like, you're the high-hanging fruit of what they find physically pleasing. I kind of feel like in their mind's eye, like even if they had never met you, if they had to imagine in their mind's eye, like someone truly beautiful or physically attractive to them, it would be you. But then when they do see you, they're like, damn, that group 3 is like my physical ideal. They wish that they could really convey this to you. I feel like they've tried to suggest it in certain ways rather than just outright saying it, like, you're the hottest person to me or whatever. Like, I think they may have tried to hint at it, sort of. They want you to get it, that they find you to be attractive in this way. Like, wink, wink. Do you get that my subtle suggestions, group 3, that I find you to be the most hot person ever? I think they're just not sure, like, either that you wouldn't believe it or how you would take it or whatever. Like, maybe you wouldn't take it the wrong way, but anyway, I'm letting you know. I don't have those barriers. I'm seeing it like this person, they find you to be their physical ideal. And it's like whatever you look like physically, it inspires their heart. You know, it's like their heart has a reaction to what you look like. Yeah, they probably have other physical reactions to what you look like too, but like their heart has a reaction. Like their heart gets turned on, you know, like the love starts flowing when they look at you. Okay, so I think that's all for that part of the reading, but I do want to also read from this oracle deck. So this is the card that you pulled from this deck, the Keepers of the Light deck, and I'm just going to read this. This could just be an extra message to you. It's not specifically about your romantic situation necessarily. We'll see what comes out of it, but I just thought it would be fun to do this. So we have Lady Portia, Divine Order. Okay. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. This powerful goddess is a figure of justice and peace. She brings order and opportunity to every experience. As a lord of karma, she also regulates the law of cause and effect. She helps us recognize the impact of our judgments, choices, and actions on ourselves and the world. She is the twin flame of Saint Germain, so it is strongly connected to the violet flame energy. Together, these twin flames can work as overseers of legal situations. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing bad behavior. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing bad behavior. Lady Portia helps us to do what is right morally and spiritually for our soul's growth. Right now, a call for justice is being brought into your space. Even if this means you will lose out, there really is no loss in the highest state of truth. Act from the heart, see the other person's point of view, and surrender your pride so that you are coming from a loving space. If you've made choices that weren't for the highest good, admit it. Through this honesty, you are releasing any karmic bonds or anchors of fear from your energy. So that's a great message. Like, we all do things in life that maybe in hindsight we wish we had done differently. So just admit it. Like, I could have done better in that particular situation. Admitting it in and of itself is helping to release any karmic bonds or anchors of fear from your energy connected to those moments, connected to those choices or actions. Take the time to learn from this situation. And if you are involved in any legal issues, know that Lady Portia and the angels of justice are gathering round to honor everyone involved. Well, I hope that makes sense to you. It kind of makes sense to me. And anyway, thank you so much for watching and for being a loyal subscriber. And I will hear from you soon, or you'll see from me soon, or both. All right, bye-bye.